How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jim Galvin, and on this channel we cover all things training, nutrition, biohacking and ancestral living to help you guys work out what you need to do based on your own individual biology to help and optimize your performance, your health and physique. Today I want to talk to all the hybrid athletes among us. That is to say, those that have a particular kind of strength, speed and power objective, whether it's a powerlifting total, kind of 1 rep max clean and jerk, whatever, and also they are concurrently training for an endurance objective, triathlon, 5K, whatever it may be. So let's get to it. This is a session I did yesterday and I'll share it with you now. As always, starting with a good comprehensive warm-up. So a warm-up for me has 3 kind of primary components. The first component is basically a general warming phase, low impact cardio, assault bike, bike erg, rower, ski, whatever the hell it may be, for between 3 and 5 minutes. From there, a little bit of foam rolling, a little bit of general kind of mobility work, making sure we stretch out everything as much as we can around the hips and the shoulders, doing a bit of thoracic spine work in there as well. And the third and final component of a warm-up is some innovation work to make sure that the tissues are firing nice and quickly. And for me, even if it's upper body, I usually do some sprint drills at the beginning. So some high knees, some nice dynamic lunges, and some nice active range of motion work on my hamstrings. But without further ado, let's get into the chunky stuff then. So, full body, kind of whole body, hypertrophy, muscle building session for hybrid athletes. How would I break that up? Well, what I do is I start off with one kind of giant set and I implement some strongman components in there. I think this is phenomenal for just kind of general physical robustness, getting some load through the system, things that are slightly awkward, and then we do a little bit more isolation stuff moving forwards. But the giant set that I did yesterday looks a little something like this. So sandbag to the shoulder, up onto one shoulder, extend the other arm to kind of show control, and then down and alternate the shoulders as you go. 8 of these guys, obviously super hinge based, loads of grip work, and this flipping gasses you out more than you might think. 8 reps of that leads us straight over to a 140 kilo trap bar. And I actually did something yesterday, so you're seeing this now, that I'd never done before. And this is a slightly offset stance. It's almost what's called a kickstand stance. Marcus Filly does a lot of this in his functional bodybuilding work. And I did 5 each side. It's where basically you're driving predominantly off that front leg. The back leg, you've got a floating heel, so the heel's just off the ground, or at the very least, you're not putting any kind of force through it. And primarily, as soon as you're up to kind of a certain point and the bar is off the floor, you're trying to transfer all the weight so it's just on the front leg. If you're a hybrid athlete and you're running and you're doing different bits and bobs, either on the road or on the trails, making sure that there's symmetry in terms of maximal strength, as well as just your ability to kind of run, is absolutely key to prevent injury and to make sure that your performance is as high as possible. I'd never really done this as a single leg variation, but I thought I'd give it a go. So 5 each side on this particular move. Moving back over to the sandbag and doing some sandbag overhead presses. This is phenomenally flipping awkward. It turns out it is easier actually just to take it from the floor than it is to take it from kind of waist height, whatever. I had some boxes there to break the fall of it. I was going to pick it up from them, but they didn't really work. Get the bag overhead, and effectively you've literally just got to kind of grip the canvasy sides of it and press from there. So unbelievably awkward. The fact that I did 60 kilos, I didn't do a single. I was doing 8 reps, but none of the sets that I did I do 8 unbroken. It was normally kind of like 4 and 4 or 4 and 2 and 2, something like that. I then gave myself about 90 seconds to 2-minute break before I then went back to the sandbag to the shoulder. So sandbag to the shoulder for 8 reps. That fairly kind of gassy, but works your grip in a very different way than the trap bar. My grip didn't actually feel too bad when I went back over to the trap bar. 5 each side in this kind of offset kickstand stance for trap bar deadlifts, and then sandbag overhead, kind of as strict as possible with a little bit of a push for 8 reps, and that is 3 sets in total. That's the first of 3 sections of the session done, guys, and that is overwhelmingly the most time consuming. I actually found that really cheeky. My cardio at the moment, and even my kind of weighted cardio, is fairly decent. But I think you get flipping sandbags involved and you realise that literally from the floor to pick it up to the waist or to the shoulders or to push it overhead, every flipping muscle and every system and kind of movement chain in your body is working. So it really takes it out of you kind of energetically and aerobically. So 8 to the shoulders, 5 each side for the trap bar deadlift, and then 8 for the overhead. But you know, even 2 minutes after, I was still kind of a little bit gassed. So 3 sets, so that took me a little bit longer than I thought. Moving on to the second session now, guys. This is where we move a little bit more into what most people would associate as kind of like functional bodybuilding. And what I did is I went over to the sled. So I did a sled push and pull, and then I did some hamstring work. So I did 3 lengths of push and pull. So the first and third set would effectively be push, pull, push, so 2 pushes, and the middle one would be the opposite, so it'd be pull, push, pull, so 2 pulls. But looking at this first set, push the sled to the end, literally turn around, drag it all the way back, and then push it again a 3rd time. That's 3 lengths, and then what I do is I went onto the hamstring curls, and I did 12 reps. I'm a big fan of doing this just on kind of the sliding plates on the turf. I think it makes sure that everything else stays nice and active, and it keeps the hamstrings working in kind of a muscular chain as opposed to just working them in isolation. Not too much of a break, literally 60 or 90 seconds, and then back in. I'm a big fan of, again, single leg work in general. I think that you can get incredibly strong and incredibly stable and get, you might not improve your 1 rep max on a squat, but overall as both a hybrid athlete and someone wanting to look after their physique a little bit, your legs are going to get flipping big and strong doing only single leg work if you need to. And one of the things I enjoy about the sled is it still makes sure that you work the ankle and work kind of the Achilles and the calf, at the fact that the heel is off the ground in this movement. So it works the strength in that position where you've got a floating heel, but you're not having to plant super hard. So it keeps the eccentric load down to a minimum, which if you're a hybrid athlete and you're doing a lot of running and you're building up your miles during those runs, you're getting eccentric volume, basically that landing, that impact every single time you step. So that's one of the benefits of the sled, is that it kind of mimics the same position, puts a lot of load through the joints at that angle, but without the eccentric volume, so it kind of looks after the joint in that way. Again, 3 lengths, either push, pull, push, or pull, push, pull, 12 hamstring curls, and that is the lower body section done and dusted. Moving on to section 3 now. Onto the upper body. This is literally kind of a flipping growth hormone injection that I know and love, and it is a press up ladder. So I can't do press ups on my palms because I've got a dodgy / broken wrist with 1 bone broken and a couple of bones missing. So this is why I keep everything neutral. I'm normally on my fists, but I get a much better grip if I literally put a barbell, as you're seeing here, just off the floor, and then grip the barbell from there. And this press up ladder is basically, you do as many reps as possible in 3 different paradigms. You do band resisted, so basically you kind of grab the band round the shoulders. This is another reason why it's good to kind of grab the barbell to kind of make sure your grip and your wrist chains are nice and strong. As many reps as possible in that position, and then we ditch the band and we do as many reps as possible just body weight, and then we basically double up the band and do a band assisted press up and as many reps as possible again. I thought I'd put some pull work in there. I'm a big fan of L hang pull-ups, which is what I've got on here. One of the reasons for that is I think it's great for your spine, really works the lats in a great way, and it works your core a little bit as well. Over to the pull-up bar, and I did 8 basically L hang chin-ups, drop down, shake my arms off for 5-10 seconds, and then 5 strict overhand pull-ups. Back to the bar, as many reps as possible, just body weight press-ups. Back to the pull-up bar again, 8 L hang chin-ups, 5 strict pull-ups. Back to the press-ups for the last time, band assisted. 1 final set of L hang chin-ups for 8, 5 overhand pull-ups. So guys, let's break that down again. Good comprehensive warm-up with kind of 3 main objectives. The first one is the general warming phase and a bit of low impact erg kit. The second one is just a bit of foam rolling and a bit of mobility. And the third one is some innovation, where we do some kind of sprint drills, get everything moving and get everything firing nice and quickly. And then the main session, again, has 3 main components. One of them is a whole body giant set, normally revolving around strongman movements. If you think this stuff isn't good for your body, it absolutely flipping is. Detach your association from strongman training causing you to be big and fat and 200 kilos. That is not the case. It is incredible for robustness, for resilience. It's completely 3-dimensional. It's the most functional training you can do. And then we have a lower body specific functional bodybuilding bit with some sled pushing and some hamstring curls. Again, I'm a big fan of sled pushing. The angles that works your ankle, knee and hips, but without the eccentric load. I think that's flipping amazing. Third and finally, moving on to an upper body functional bodybuilding bit. Just get the flipping reps in, as many press ups as possible. So totaling, you know, I don't know, kind of way over 100 split across the 3, and throwing in an amazing exercise that works both the pull levers and your core isometrically at the same time, which is those L hang chin ups. Giant set, lower body specific bit, upper body specific bit. If you are a hybrid athlete, do not get it twisted. You do not need to do conventional, or in my opinion, you shouldn't be doing conventional bodybuilding work. to maintain your musculature and to maintain a decent physique. Implementing some strongman components at the beginning in a like a full body giant set, and then doing a bit of lower body and then a bit of upper body is going to serve you a hell of a lot better. Keeps you strong, keeps you stable, prevents injury, and allows you to kind of either maintain or actually put on a decent bit of lean muscle mass if you do this a few times a week. Really do hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please do smash assertively and aggressively that like button. It really does help myself and the channel grow and kind of like punts it into the deep waters of the YouTube algorithm. If you have not yet done so, please do subscribe. And the biggest favor you could ever do me is have a look through some of my old videos. Remember this one, select one of them, your favorite or something that specifically resonates with you, and share it with someone just like you that could get just as much value as you have. Have an amazing day, guys. Any questions, just put them down in the comment section below. And until then, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I'll see you all in the next video.